have a technique for subtly glancing at someone? Well, if you do, then you're in good company. Today we'll be taking a closer look at the nuances of everyday interactions that make up the monotony of life. Let's enjoy that feeling of smugness when you're one of the last people to board a plane. Grab your knitting needles and a blanket because it's time for three old friends to sit around and sew a new patch into their quilt of friendship. So join me, Dion, under the covers with Christian.
Welcome to Patchwork.
And Josh.
Welcome to Patchwork.
Well, that was nice.
We are out of practice, aren't we?
We're all looking at Christian because like, well, it's definitely not me first.
Guys, I'm different now.
Okay, right.
I don't start the show, I end it.
Welcome back to Australia, Christian.
Thanks.
It's been a long time. Welcome back to Australia, Josh.
It was not quite as long time.
Thank.
Wow. So while I've been gone, you haven't spoken English.
Is that a word maybe from the country that you'd been to?
Just try to cull my vocabulary.
Oh,
Yeah.
and
Just
we
really drop those letters off.
and we have to, and that's why this episode will go for 12 minutes.
This episode's going to be good.
We've all been away for a really long time. But for the people, which is probably most people, who don't listen consecutively and wait for new episodes.
Oh, come on.
For them, they may have listened to the last episode a minute ago. But for that listener, we have been gone for what,
6, 7 months, something like
8
that.
months, something
Yeah.
like that. I've been away. I'm a new person now.
Yeah. You went
Yeah.
on a massive trip. What did you hit up, Christian?
Oh, I've seen a lot of stuff. Yeah.
What are you saying?
A few different things.
You don't love. Some people don't like talking about their
I
jobs
think
or
it's
what they
boring.
do.
I think it's boring to have what is known as a boring conversation on a podcast.
No,
Okay.
that's crazy. Because
he
we
doesn't
know
want to
that
talk
the
about
stuff
it.
that you'll say about your holiday we'll be interested in, unless
you-
it's boring.
But you'd be interested in it.
Yeah.
No, but I think there's a baseline level that is interesting to just get a visual image of what Christian was doing. Because if you said, "Oh, I went to Scandinavia for 7 months,"
Yep.
that's really different.
Yep.
From being like, "Oh, I went to Southeast Asia for 6
All
months."
right, tell me. All right, let's do this. Okay, levels. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to start
We did that
really
before.
general. I'm going to start really general, and you tell me when it becomes boring. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I did 6.5 months across the United States and South America.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's
good.
enough.
Not boring now.
no, I think that's good.
No, I'm bored.
Hang on.
No, you go.
You
keep
tell me
going.
when it starts getting boring.
Keep going. We
Okay.
will.
In South America, I saw Machu Picchu.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful.
To be
I
expected.
was in Patagonia.
Gorgeous.
Some of the highlights.
Great
Yeah,
store.
Are you bored yet?
No.
Really?
No.
That's about it for me. Fine, ready? I went to Peru, Colombia.
But these
Yo,
no.
Argentina.
No. I think you don't know how to talk about a holiday. You're
I
just
don't
talking about
want
the place.
to.
Yeah, I know, but you're just talking about the places you went to. What about the feelings you had on that trip? Or what about great
Ooh.
experiences? Was there a stupid thing that you did on the trip?
Sure, yes, Dion. I did a stupid thing.
Great.
No, I went to a Christian theme park in Buenos Aires.
That
So-
looked incrable, by the way.
The religion, you mean?
Yeah, the religion. There was a very weird.
Everyone, you got free entry, did
What
you?
a coincidence.
Yeah, it was a very, very cheap, poorly made Christian theme park that had a resurrection at 3 p.m. where a giant Jesus would encroach on the sky.
It honestly looked like something out of The Simpsons.
It was
Like,
because it was fully
amazing.
mechanized,
Yeah.
but really poorly made. So you'd hear the hydraulics at work.
that's
They'd
so
have really
good.
sharp finishes where the item would bounce
Those used to
back
say
and
about
forth.
Jesus, you could always hear his hydraulics.
The holy hydraulics.
Was it? You said it was at 3 p.m. Was it on the hour? Every
Yeah,
hour?
yep.
Oh, that's nice. That's convenient.
Not every 3 days.
But then they had Arabian dances. There was like but the funny thing is, we were at this place and surrounded by the elderly, and we're like, oh, this is one of the spots that if you were on a cruise or an elderly person traveling, you'd go to the Christian theme park.
Or if you wanted to know what the time was, you could just do it on the hour. You'd know. Christian, speaking of those silly things, it makes me think that when I was in Taiwan for a couple of weeks, and
Boring now.
When I'm traveling, I'll always I'm happy to go 2 hours to something really stupid. I'm happy to travel a long time. I went to a cafe that had capybaras that you could pat.
Thank God.
And they're large rodents, aren't they? They're huge. But my favorite thing was paying for 20 minutes to pat a capybara, and there was just a duck that was walking around, and the handler of the capybara just insisted on putting the duck on the capybara's back. And the capybara didn't seem to care all that much.
Was the duck paying?
I think I think the duck. I don't know who enjoyed it more, the duck or the capybara.
The duck's getting a free ride.
Yeah, but like it wasn't going
The
anywhere.
capybara's got a friend.
But I think the duck was just sitting on the capybara and it didn't know what to do. And
Do you reckon a duck got a cut of the money? That the capybara got?
What?
Duck cut.
What? Imagine that moment for an animal where it goes, this would never happen to me in the wild. This is so foreign to me
Do you think
that I
that
don't know how to feel.
are they wanting to do it as well? Like, is the
Yeah.
duck looking up at the capybara going, "Oh, it's a big rodent, world giant rodent. Oh, jeez, that'd be good.
That's
That'd be good."
evolution.
That's the
Yeah.
first type of ride. That's a natural. That's the
a
first
natural ride.
That's a natural theme
Put that
park.
in the Christian theme, yeah. There'll be a lot of capybara hydraulics with a hydraulic duck that comes out.
Before we get started, guys, let's get
Hang
into
on,
this
hang on,
episode.
hang
Who
on.
gives a shit?
I want to know.
God.
I want to know. Was there anything?
More holiday chat.
Anything that stood out for you?
Just quickly, did a nice little few weeks, about 6 weeks in Europe. Went to this massive cave in Slovenia, the Skopchen cave, huge. And the funniest thing was like very clear, like don't touch anything. This stuff is hundreds of thousands. These formations take so long. Do not touch anything.
Oh
you
my
could disturb
God.
it. Straight away, this guy in front of us like a hand on the thing.
Unbelievable.
And it's just like, what can you do?
Unbelievable.
What can you do? We were just like, unbelievable.
Did you tell him? Did you
Nah, we
consider
just let
telling
it
him
go,
off?
but we're just like, it's so weird.
Well, it's because he's been told not to, right?
It's so weird.
That's the compulsion. It's
Yeah.
like, well, this must feel old.
I don't know.
Christian, remind me how we usually start these episodes.
I was going to say before we get started.
Oh.
So since I've been back, which has only been a very short period of time, I've celebrated a birthday, and I wanted to bring my new casual, world-aware, well-traveled personality.
Yep.
This new person that I am into the fold, and I wanted to have a very casual birthday. So I sent a message out
Sick.
to you guys.
Whilst you're in linen.
And I sent a group message out to a few different people and just said, hey, and it was very casual, too casual. It was, hey, gonna have some birthday drinks. Come on if you like. It's on this date. And I thought that'd be great. Don't
you said
scare-
starts from in that message.
Did I?
Yeah, I think it was
Okay.
starts from, or maybe
No,
it
I
was
think it's
at
at me some
6.
time.
Oh,
So
okay.
this is the problem, right?
Right.
Started really vague and everyone was like, cool, sounds good. And then I realized as it got closer to the date that I'm not casual and I desperately needed to know who was coming and who.
Yeah, no, I was just surprised that that's one of your top priorities.
Well, who, so I could get numbers
It's a catering thing
for
you.
catering
Yeah.
because this host...
Catering. Just so easy and free going. Catering.
yeah, because I had to make a platter and it's
So
just...
you're not that
I'm-
much of a new guy.
At all.
Had to make a platter.
But I
Sounds
real-
like the old Christian to me.
But I realized in that moment that I'm exactly the same
Yeah.
and cannot organize something casually.
Yeah.
How are you both when organizing an event? Because even up to the moment of people arriving, because I eventually said from 4, and you know, if you say from 4 and you tell people come whenever, they'll come whenever.
Yeah.
But at 4, I started getting anxious. Well, what if the first person and the second person, they're from different groups, and what if they don't get along?
Well,
and
the from instruction's an interesting one because if you hear something's on from 4, what's the latest that you would go to that event? From 4.
I'd say you'd have to get in touch if you're more than 2 hours.
2 hours is heaps. That's
Yeah.
probably right. What do you think? It's probably. I think if you're over like 45 minutes, it's kind of.
No, a from is way wider.
yeah, so
Really?
Dion,
Yeah.
you got really anxious because you were like, I'm going to be late. You made up this enormous excuse,
I was quite late, wasn't I?
but you weren't.
oh.
You weren't late at all because it was a from invite.
Oh,
and
maybe
you
I
got
missed the
there at-
from.
No, because it was a from 4 and you got there at what, 5?
I got there from 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
My question for you, Christian, in
Yeah.
terms of, did you have, because I find with an event like that, you
Yes.
normally have your little core. And you're like, well, I'm going to have my core who I know are going to come here early, quote
Yeah.
unquote. So what, did you have your core sorted or is just you
Well,
and like, your
I
girlfriend?
messaged you guys.
No, but I'm saying,
And everyone
don't
was
lie to
very
us.
casual
Don't
about
make
it.
everyone feel like they're part of your core.
No, but normally you might send it at a personal, like, hey, can you come early and help set up all that kind
Oh,
of thing.
no.
So you didn't have
Fuck.
any, because that's what I'm getting at, that you were anxious because no one's here. I don't have a core to kick things off.
That's true. That's what I was missing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But that feels too... I was trying not to be that anxious guy who sends a message out being like, hey, can you bring this? And do you mind arriving at this time just to get there? Like, help me. I didn't want to be that guy, but I am.
Yeah.
Couldn't avoid it.
Do you think it's incumbent on good friends to be there at 4? Your good core friends,
Yes.
I feel like they need to be, especially if you're meeting at a restaurant, that your good friends, because on your birthday, you don't want to be hanging around on your own for half an hour.
For me, the good core friends would be excited enough to spend time with their core friends.
But that's not the world we live in. That's
It's
a
not the
fantasy
world. It is, and I learnt that on my birthday
Yeah,
of
that
all
sucks. That
days.
sucks.
But I think also a house invite is very different
It is,
to
yeah.
an external venue. So this was at a house invite. So I
Yes,
think that
true.
implants in people's heads. No rush, no big deal, very comfortable surrounds. They're not burning money at the bar or anything like that.
Out of interest, Christian, did people bring prezzies?
Weirdly, yes.
Oh, interesting.
And I think I must give me presents vibes.
You like a present. You're very appreciative of a present.
That's the problem. I'm too appreciative,
Oh, but you don't
but
like
don't
a
want the present.
I still don't believe it. That's so. I still don't believe it when you say it.
That I
you
don't want a present.
Yeah. Do you think Christian wants presents?
No, I think he's real.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
But you like getting a thoughtful gift.
Do you
We've
like?
just discussed
You
this
don't even
many
want a thoughtful
times.
present. Or is it that it's?
No,
is it-
everyone is happy to get the gift, but he is very happy that no gifts means no
Yeah.
gifts.
Yeah. We talked
Which
about
is
that.
which is the flip, isn't it? From when I had a position in patch 9? No
Oh.
gifts means no gifts.
You've changed.
I'm a different person.
No.
It was-
That's there's no way you've evolved. That's since South America, not since patch 9.
yeah. But what about you? Are you a casual organizer?
Yeah, I guess I do like to have that core, I think. But yeah, as long as, like, it makes me think, Christian, we got together and we booked a bunch of comedy festival tickets. Just us two. We locked in a bunch of times, bunch of tickets. We were like, if anyone else wants to come along, then that's great. So I feel like that's almost like the equivalent
That's
for me.
the core,
That's
isn't
the
it?
core. The core is just, I've got you
core is
there. It'll be
important.
great. Everyone else.
Well, because my view as a sort of extension of the core idea is you've just got to work out what you're happy with and be like, well, so-and-so's here, so-and-so here's great. If this is all it stays at, I'm having a real good time.
I think
If you can get in that.
Are you genuine about that as well? Because I think I would be.
Because anytime I've had parties and stuff and all these people like message, oh my God, so sorry I couldn't make it. I was like, I don't care. I didn't realize you weren't there. Because I'm just focused on who's here and having a good time with the people who are.
But do you want to know in advance whether they're coming?
There's a very limited amount. There's maybe like 4 or 5 people, honestly.
But you want to know they're coming.
The small core of like
Yes.
4 or 5, I would like to.
That's
yeah.
what was missing. I had no idea who was coming, so it was a mystery box of what the day would look like.
Yeah, right.
And it ended up being a glorious day.
You know what? I think with the core though, you'd expect them to message if they can't make it, but you'd presume they can. So you should have presumed that we were all obviously going to be there.
That's a fantastic point.
That was a thing. Do you remember there was a point when we were growing up that invitations, they always used to say RSVP, but then it changed to regrets only? What? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Be honest with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
What year was it?
1997.
It would have been 97, 98. What the hell was that? What was that turning point?
Maybe it's just making people committing to not going there. That was the more important thing.
But hang on, back then, people were so confident that you'd turn up that they only wanted to know about regrets.
No, but you don't need to know if that was someone who's like, I don't need to know whether people are coming.
But what a confident move that is to go, I'm putting something on, just let me know if you can't make it. I'm assuming that most people can.
That's true.
It's a beautiful shift.
It's a beautiful shift.
I should have written that in the message.
Regrets only.
Just let me know if you can't make it.
Yeah.
Because then by default, I assume everyone's coming.
Will you do that next time?
Absolutely.
I'll do it. On my birthday's in April, I'll do it.
Ah, that's fantastic. Well done.
Won't see you there. I was at the pub the other day and there was this gentleman who's wearing a particularly loud shirt. And I wanted to get the attention of my girlfriend and sort of let her know, hey, have a look at that guy without obviously being too obvious.
Surely she would have heard it.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And I realized like my default go-to is always the time clock because you don't want to point people. The only thing I might point is like a very much a...
Wait, the time clock. Sorry, just explain to the listeners.
You're
not
6
familiar with that.
o'clock, you're 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I've got no idea what that is. Yeah. It's like
So
north, south, east, west. No
if
idea.
someone gives you the clock, if I was to say right now, Dion, Josh is at... Oh, no, I wouldn't say Josh.
Yep.
I'd say they're at your 6 o'clock.
Where the hell is the clock
Behind
pointing?
you. The clock. You're in the middle.
You
of
are
the
the
clock.
clock.
You're in the middle. That
You're
is,
the
it's very
clock.
straightforward.
So I'm the clock, and Josh is at my
and
what?
work clockways.
Dion, I'm at your 2 o'clock.
Just also go easy on me. We're just starting up. So far, I have no idea what you're talking about. so say it, and I'll try and tell you what it is.
Dion,
'Cause
I am at your 2 o'clock.
You're at my 2.
Christian is at your 12 o'clock.
Yep.
Are you telling me? You're asking
I'm
me.
telling you.
You're at my 2 o'clock. Yeah, that
Yes,
makes sense.
great.
So we're 6 o'clock.
Yeah, and where's the little hand that's going?
How many minutes? Anyway, so that's like my general strategy because you can say it quite verbally. There's no indication at all.
Yeah, easy to get across.
And then to most people. But the key point of it, how is your game plan if you're the person receiving that to look at the person of interest, the POI, if you will?
Well, I'd be
Interesting.
looking down at my watch first.
He's got a digital watch as well.
Doesn't make any sense.
It's interesting that you go immediately to the other person. Josh, there's a lot of considerations in you delivering that message, though.
Okay.
The 6 o'clock, are you not worried for the immediate look? That you
that's up to
say
them to take
at your
care of.
6 o'clock, but you
Oh,
are
you mean you have to, don't look.
No. Oh, you say that in a mocking tone.
I do.
No, but you are in charge of the context. They don't know what's behind them. If you
That's
say
true.
at your 6 o'clock, they turn around and get punched.
so,
Don't just say that.
Imagine there's just a fist waiting behind.
so wait, Christian, what do you?
Fist,
6 o'clock.
Fist.
So Christian, so it sounds like you're suggesting something different. Josh is suggesting at the start the position of the person, whereas
No. Christian's making up some story like that's all I say.
No.
Dion, 3 o'clock.
No, Josh is
No.
suggesting the position. Christian,
Iceberg.
I
2
think.
o'clock.
Where? No, my 2 o'clock.
I think Christian is more suggesting the subject matter maybe needs to come first, or something preliminary. Like,
well,
Sure.
you got to set. There's a lot of.
oh well, let's do it. Why don't we just do it now, Christian? I'm trying to get your attention.
You're trying to get my attention.
I'm going to try and get your attention because there's the guy with the loud shirt over there.
Okay.
So
So having conversation.
yeah. So you're trying. So maybe.
So I went to Peru.
Yep.
Argentina. Colombia.
Christian, just
Yeah.
pause for a second. There's a guy with a loud shirt and a speaker on it. Just wait a second. Just wait a second. Turn around. You're good. You can see him. Got it. Flawless. Seamless.
Wait
Beautiful.
a second.
That was good, wasn't it?
Wait a second. I thought it was actually very good. You weighted the timing quite well.
Yeah, lowered my voice.
You're like a
but-
cricketer. Waiting.
But the momentary, okay, and now you're good, I think that's flawed. Because
Oh, what? I'm
you're
guiding you through it. You're blind.
No, but what happens in the time it takes for me to turn my head to look, I'm no longer good. What happens then?
So I need to talk you through it a little bit more then?
Well, I think there needs to be there's an orchestration that's needed where you're either pointing towards something.
Well, that's what I was
Ridiculous.
going to say. I think that's up to you in this instance. It's up to
Okay.
you, Christian. What is your game plan
As the
to
recipient.
as to disguise your movements and cover yourself?
Well, do you want to do it
this
live?
is the problem, right? Is as the recipient, I don't know whether there's an urgency. So
It depends on the
It's
voice.
all-
The voice. You'd go Christian.
and I go quick look, and then I look, and the person's looking back at me. They punch me in the face.
Have you ever I feel like getting caught out by that person is what you're trying to avoid, right?
Absolutely.
Imagine if both of you are caught out as well.
That's the ultimate.
I will put on our socials. I literally have a photo of us getting caught out. We're on a
Amazing.
ferry, and this woman, I'd never seen them before, and now I'm like, I feel really bad. They're these particular goggles, like glasses you wear that have like liquid in them to help do your balance so you don't get seasick.
What?
So like in your vision, you can sort of see the level of the water that's floating in these rims.
What?
Is
I'll
that
send
why
you a picture
Dame
of it.
Edna wears those?
Anyway, and I thought they're silly looking glasses, and so we're like, oh, we'll just pretend to take a selfie of ourselves with the rest of the boat in the background.
no.
So we took one. It was blurry. Took a second
So
one.
good.
And in the second photo, she was staring right at the camera.
That's so
And
good.
we're like, oh my god.
Is it very
blew
obvious that-
It's so fun.
Oh,
It's
God.
so obvious.
How did you? Sorry, just quickly. How did you know about those glasses?
Well, we looked at it afterwards, and we're like, oh, it's like a therapeutic thing. We feel like arseholes now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Does that mean you can wear them in the car
Hang
and
on.
just have little cars at the bottom of your glasses?
So you're
Asphalt at the bottom.
so you're saying had it not been for therapeutic purposes, you wouldn't have been arseholes for taking.
I
the
would have
photo.
been happy to mock that person. Yeah.
for having loud glasses.
Yeah. If they were very. Yeah. I thought that's a silly look.
yeah, I get it.
Anyway, so back to
Yes.
the point of if you're going to look at someone, I'll tell you my strat. So generally, if I get told there's a person there and there's no time on it, I'm like, okay, I've got time to do this. I will do a casual look around, but the key is you look further than the target. So I'm turning around.
Yeah. No,
you
I
look
like this.
past
I like
the target.
this. Yep.
And you catch them on the look. You look around to the right. You hover for maybe a second, and then you bring it home.
So, but what's the person who's instructed you to look doing at this point?
That's a good question. I'm
They're
not
in the
engaged
distance.
that.
Because I think this is, paranoid mind. If I'm looking at a table and then I see one guy kind of start, rolling his head around and then he clocks me really intently and then
stuffed.
keeps looking, I know what's on.
Nah.
And now imagine the person
But
sitting.
it's about disguising it then. It's that look. If you catch the eyes, it's about disguising that look that's like, I just happened to catch that eye as I looked around the room.
Can I propose the intense stare just over that person's shoulder as if you're looking into
past
space?
them.
I think that's madness. I think
Yes, so you stare evil right in the face.
That was out. That was also out in '97. No, you can't do that. It's too obvious.
It's Russian roulette. There's a huge payoff, but you could.
You're going for it.
Those little things in life where you're like, why don't they teach that at school? Perfect. This could have been a couple of how to subtly look at
Well,
someone.
what's your strat, Dion? What are you doing? What are you employing?
My
What
strat is
strategies?
just maybe a little. We haven't talked about any sort of physicality, but if I can reach Christian or Josh with my little foot and give you a little bit of a love tap, and then
interesting.
it's probably guiding you over there with my chin.
Yeah. And then if you're
Chin
receiving
guide.
that,
Yep.
how are you making the look?
Just
how are you
stay.
disguising
It's
it?
just to stay calm initially. You just stay very calm, and then. Yeah, I think I do more. It would be like getting up off my seat and like looking like
Interesting.
Yeah,
Can I give you a call out?
absolutely.
So we're having a conversation.
Yep.
Chat to me, babe.
Well, Christian, I just don't know if we should be here right now because it's
Dino. Just don't look now.
Okay.
Whenever you've got some time.
Okay, I'll handle this perfectly. Go on.
There is a guy behind you in a very loud shirt with a full orchestra behind him.
Okay. Let me just turn it.
In your own
eyes.
In your own time, I'm going to chat to Josh now.
Yep.
Take your time.
Okay. Well, for those on YouTube, you'll be able to see what I do. So I'm going to get up.
Dion's getting up out of his chair, adjusting his chair, looking.
Oh, that is fantastic.
So he's on his tippy toes,
that.
like he's looking over to the very back of the room, right over the back.
So he's very smug. This is the smuggest you've been, I reckon.
Not since I boarded the plane late.
But Dion was pretending to look for someone in the distance.
Miles away.
Oh, he's coming.
Past the
Where
pub.
is he? I thought he said that he was... Yeah.
I think the big overt. I think we're kind of settled on at least the big overt action is better than trying to get away with it by like just a little quick glance over your shoulder. I think we've agreed on that.
Out of interest, if we do,
Can we still do them?
Yeah,
we can. Out of interest, if you are talking at that table and you're talking about that person, are you conscious of how conscious are you of the volume of your voice? Because I feel like a lot of people think that other people can hear you and other people are listening.
I'm with you.
Oh, really?
I'm with you. People think that others have superhuman hearing.
It's like, and I get told to shush a lot. It's like, shh, they'll hear. It's like, no, they won't. There's no way they're listening.
I think they're more perceptive. People are more perceptive to a change in volume from another table rather than us continuing. Because if I was to say, hey, Dion, have a look at that person over
they
there
pick that up.
at the exact same tempo and volume, they're not picking
I
up
think
anything.
the key, if that's going on, I will talk at a normal volume of things that do not give away the game. But if there's a pertinent thing that is like just behind you, say that. You go just behind you. There's a guy with a thing. It's like you've got to pick the words that you got to drop in volume.
Interesting.
Otherwise, if there's nothing that gives away the game, you can talk that normal, and that's more normal. And I think that covers it better.
Yep.
If you're wearing a loud shirt, do you think you are listening out for loud shirt more?
I think if you had...
Wait, you understand that question?
Yeah, absolutely. Could you... Yeah, if you were out, whatever you're wearing, whatever you look like, are there words that your ears would burn to?
Bald.
Yeah.
What?
Would you hear it more often in a group on the other side of the room or the other table?
Like you personally
Yeah,
be
do you go,
sensitive to?
I think that's about me.
What is something that you're most insecure about, Dion?
What am I most insecure about? It would be if I don't have my belt too tight and my pants are too low.
You're kidding.
Okay.
Your
Maybe
pants
no, but
too low.
that's not a thing. The
So
first
you
thing that
think
came
that
to
someone-
first thing that came to mind was that I'm a
Wait.
Jew.
Wait, oh no.
Your ears prick up on that.
Wait a second. So you're worried that someone would go, "Hey, look at how low that Jew's pants are."
All right, we're about halfway through the show now, so I thought it might be a good idea to do a bit of a sound check. The topic for today's sound check is Arnott's biscuits. Dion, do you want to give us a little sound check?
No problem. The butternut snap cookie was a favourite amongst bookies. The butternut snap cookie was a favourite amongst bookies. Christian, could you test your mic, please?
Thanks, Dino. The mint slice didn't need to be told twice. The mint slice didn't need to be told twice. And Josh, you're Michael.
I'll just take mine. Attention. Please don't linger with a Scotch finger. Attention. Please don't linger with a Scotch finger.
Christian, I wanted to ask you, we were talking about the holiday you didn't want to talk about earlier.
Yeah, great. Thanks for bringing it up.
Before.
Argentina.
Peru, Machu Picchu.
Yep.
You went to Christian Museum. And I recently was on a holiday and I was very conscious of trying to be a little bit controlled about the number of photos I was taking.
Ooh.
And it got a little bit out of control because you just never really look back at them, do you? You look at
Quick
about 20 of
clarifying.
them. Yes.
Phone or snap?
Phone, and you used to take like a point and shoot, and used to really enjoy that experience, like a DSLR. But now I'm like, I can't be fucked.
Cool, just phone, go on.
No problem. And then, so I was taking a lot of photos of my trip, and I was like, oh god, this is.
Do you know how many?
Yeah, I do, and I counted them up before.
How long was this trip?
It was 14 days.
Oh.
2 weeks.
And
2 weeks.
Do you want to know?
Yeah.
I averaged per day 79 photos
Oh
a day.
my God.
Took 1,100 photos, and I converted that to what that would be if I was getting films developed. It'd be 49 films developed.
Unbelievable.
$10 each.
Right.
Upwards of $500.
So
Yeah.
you're not taking a photo of the information desk that's a train carriage, right?
Yes,
if you've got a film camera.
No, exactly. And that was one of the photos I showed you before that I
Yes.
took. But then I had a look, and it's like there were duplicates as well. So
Some
on
maps of the trails you're going on,
exactly.
perhaps.
So I reckon probably about 400, 14-day trip. Seems a lot. Seems very haphazard. Did you go? I mean, actually, let's build up, Josh.
Yeah,
so that was a
sure.
2-week trip. Josh, you rated 6 weeks.
So you had 14 days. How many photos?
1,100
for the average
at
of
79 a day.
79 a day. So I was away for 45 days.
Yes.
Took just over 2,100 for a total of 48 photos a day.
Ooh.
Yeah,
So
interesting.
Okay,
shocking from you.
2,100.
Interesting.
That makes sense. Well, I was...
Sorry, 48 photos a
No,
day
no,
seems
that's-
crazy. to me.
80.
Well,
He's
but
nuts.
I think
Yeah.
the thing is that if you're seeing some beautiful stuff, I would, like, as you're on that walk or in that area, you don't take a single photo of the beautiful thing anymore.
You never know when,
You
because
take
single
angle,
photo, yeah.
you take multiple angles to make sure you get the best photo of the beautiful
is that
thing.
the aim?
Yeah.
Or is it the journey? Like, if you go on a hike, are you wanting to map out the hike in photos? or is the aim just to get the best photo
This is
from the
why
hike?
you'll hear that over 183 days,
Jesus.
I took 6,960 photos.
That's not that many.
Which is 38 photos a day.
That seems
Wow.
reasonable. What the hell was I
But
doing?
I would say that the great majority of them are photos taken along hikes.
Yeah, of beautiful things.
Wow,
of
that
beautiful things.
That does sound boring.
Yours, Dion, I'm shocked you took over 1,000 photos on a 2-week trip.
I know, that's not great, is
That's
it?
so much.
I think I'll audit them.
But to your question about what are you trying to capture, I think sometimes I'll do like a single photo of like capture a mood, capture a moment.
Oh, yeah.
To be like, you're not going to get the perfect shot of this. Just grab one so you remember that place. Because often that's the memory of the trip. We went to this place, we ate at this place, we went here.
It's one every 8 minutes. That's ridiculous.
That
I was able to work that in my head. Yes, Christian.
I just realized. I didn't just realize
That you miscalculated and you took 14,000?
No. But it's funny that you're taking these photos on the hikes, and every single photo you take, someone else has taken that identical photo. I need some kind of system. I need Google Photos to give me an alert
Brilliant.
to say
This hasn't been done.
this hasn't been done, or 26 million people have taken a photo of this thing.
You piece of shit.
Yeah.
And
And here-
put it down.
and-
Enjoy the view.
And here is a professional photo of the moment we'll save to your camera
Well,
roll.
that's the thing, right?
That's pretty good.
In the
bad.
absence,
It's
in the
not bad.
absence of you being in the photo, which in the absence of you being in the photo, which obviously makes sense.
Yes.
If
yeah.
you're just taking purely a
Yep.
landscape shot, for instance, I think there's something in knowing, and I've got a few of these.
Yeah,
shots.
what's the personal connection?
So I think it's when you get a shot that's really great, you're like, oh wow, I took that.
But you didn't take that.
No, I did.
No, you
No,
didn't.
you didn't. It's on
You
auto on a
absolutely
phone that's
didn't.
using
No,
computational
but I put those
photography.
bits together.
But
No,
you
you didn't.
didn't,
Shit.
Josh.
You're making out like I have to paint it myself.
No, you
No,
held
you
the phone and you pressed the
held
button.
your telephone.
That's ridiculous.
You held
You
it
think
out
that.
towards something beautiful and pressed a button.
No, I'm talking about like a really nice, and like you touch it up a bit afterwards, like the ones from Egypt I've got on my wall.
Are you,
Oh, you
are you
touched them
touching them
up.
up?
Yeah, I am. No, but like that's what I was mainly doing on this trip. I was like, I was just taking wide one and being like, well, I don't need to frame it up perfectly because it's just my phone.
Yeah.
Like with the DSLR, you can actually frame it up
Yeah.
and do a bit nicer. With the phone, I'm like, just do it in post.
But
Zoom
wait,
in a bit.
have you done it in post?
Like the Greek part of the trip I did. The rest
Oh.
I just have not bothered. But like that's an enjoyable thing of when you finish up with that photo at the end and you do a little bit of work to it and you're like, great, I'm going to print that and put that on my wall.
I agree. You can take there's these interesting photos you take where you're like, it's very personal to me because I was there. It reminds me of something. Then you do a little editing and it becomes even more personal.
Yeah.
But there were these moments on the hikes, the multi-day hikes that we did with other people where they didn't bring their phone or they had a worse phone and they were like, hey, can you take photos of
that's
me
annoying.
for the trip?
That's annoying.
And now I have in my camera roll
Yeah.
someone else's photos, memories that I never ended up sending to them.
Oh, that's strange.
Very
Sorry,
strange.
that's weird for them to ask you to do that.
Well, it happened. She had her phone. Maybe she had her phone stolen at one point.
Ah, okay,
Anyway.
well, fair.
But let's pretend I didn't say that.
What a loser.
but it's just weird because I would stand in front of the view, and then we'd swap spots, and she'd stand in front. But
If you go into your contacts,
it's
it's got
just-
all of her contacts in the phone as well.
it's just a weird thing to take the identical photo and the subjects are just different. Like, how many of this
Yeah.
exact photo exists everywhere? Because surely everyone doing that hike is doing the exact same photo.
Particularly, is it more weird with AI now? You can just do everything, can't you? You can just sub yourself into anything. Like,
Yeah.
who gives a shit about
Yeah.
anything?
Yeah.
But
You're
I-
essentially saying nothing's real.
Nothing. Nothing's real.
But then, right, like your idea, if you grab like the best photo you can find online and put that into your camera roll, so then when you're showing your friends, go, this is this place. Like, that's a weird outcome though, isn't it? To be like, on here's some photos of the place that I didn't take, but they're objectively the better photo.
I think
Yeah.
it's weirder thinking that you're a professional photographer with this Pixel 6.
I'm not suggesting I'm a professional.
No, but there's
I'm
not...
saying I get enjoyment when I frame up a shot. I'm like, that looks sick. That's quite
Oh,
remarkable.
wait,
I took
wait,
that.
do you
because
get-
I'm not a professional.
Do you get more enjoyment if you take a good photo of another person or a landscape shot?
That's a fantastic question. Another person.
Another person,
Hands down.
particularly if they don't think that they're
candid
photogenic
shot,
as
candid
well.
shot.
Candid
shots.
shot. They don't think that. How good is a candid shot?
You know what was amazing while
Bloody
we were
hell.
away? This one woman, this Australian woman did, even I and my partner, we were sitting on the edge of a boat going around and she just took a snap and then showed us like, that's pretty great, isn't it? I'll airdrop it to you. So she would routinely just take photos of other people.
That's crazy good.
Then when you didn't know that was happening and she's like, that's a really nice photo. Do you guys want it? And I'm like,
It's such a romantic thing, isn't it? It's like I'm seeing a beautiful you. I'm seeing.
I shouldn't say that, but
Well, she should have.
Do you think there'll ever be like a service in the world in cities where they've got, I mean, it's in China where they've got a lot of cameras, but more that you can get photos of your day and like
I would
taking photos
love.
of your day? It'd be amazing.
I would love
CCTV.
my
Yeah.
ideal tech that I want to exist in the future is
surveillance to the
is
nth
a
degree.
hyper surveillance state.
And we'll call it Beijing.
I want a social credit score.
I want. Well, this you're gonna hate this then. I want a red flag. No, I want. I'm sorry. I would like every photo that I've taken for Google to cross-reference with other people's libraries to say, well, this person was there on the day, and here you are in the background of their photo.
We're not far
and
off.
so you could see yourself in other people's photos from days.
I had an amazing
Yeah,
thought. I
that's
think that would
weird.
be amazing.
That's weird though.
Is it?
Yeah, it's weird because it's like just these other random photos. It's just something really weird about it.
It's kind of small world global connection type thing.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I like.
Yeah.
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 Here's a question: How
Just became Usher for a second.
how comfortable are you guys asking someone to take a photo of you? How often were you doing that?
I mean, you have to like first do an appraisal if they're going to know how to take a photo. I did that in Taiwan of a lady, probably like a 70-year-old lady that was at a bar in this really weird area, and I got her to take a photo just because I knew it would be bad, and she made me look like I'd shat my pants. It's amazing. The angle and everything, it just looks like it's amazing.
I can't wait to see this photo.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really funny.
There was a lady that approached us. We were doing a hike, and she said, "Can you take a photo of me?"
And you shat your pants.
Quick, get this.
Now to the front of me.
She wanted a photo of her and her partner, and I took a few. I consider myself to be an okay taker of photos for
fine.
couples,
Yeah.
right?
Just
And
for
then-
couples.
And
Everything
then
else you
solos, I can't. It looks like they're taking a shit in their pants. But I was taking a photo, and then I gave her the phone back. She looked through it, and she's like, "Nah, do them again.
What?
But do this."
Yeah.
What?
And get it
And
right.
she was like, do this little bit of, she was quite aggressive, which scared me, but she was like, zoom out a little bit like this, frame us like that. She showed me some other photos. I was like, okay.
Oh.
But I took the photo and was like, that is a fantastic photo. And then for the rest of the trip, my partner and I more or less implemented the strategy that she had taught us.
Was one of the strategies I learned this overseas? One of the strategies is to go a little bit lower. Don't
Capturing what part of the body?
no. Just
I love that that's the strategy you learned.
no.
Hey, Dion, just a bit lower.
you lower your camera just to your chest.
Yeah.
And then you sort of take it like that, and it makes you look a bit taller, and it's a nice angle. You get a bit more sky.
Wow.
Bit more poo.
No, the main one was the slight zoom out to
Yeah.
capture more of the environment and keep
You
the...
fucking crop that though. Or Josh can do it for her in post.
Yeah, that's so strange.
Yeah, she was aggressive.
I think that is crazy that you're asking someone to do you a favor of taking a photo and you want to critique their work.
But
Yeah.
for
Just
them...
get what you get at that point.
No, because for her, she's like, I want this memory the way that I want it to look.
Then maybe she should have given that
Too bad.
instruction.
She'll never see me again.
Then pay a photo Sherpa.
That is quite the idea, Josh.
Adobe Photoshop.
Photoshop.
Oh, there it is. The QR in QR code stands for quick response, but a better name would be SL, as that would more clearly stand for scan links.
The best way to tell if a food is unhealthy is if the flavors are colors. Arctic white. Blizzard blue.
Why doesn't anything other than land come in swathes?
Thank you so much for welcoming us back like you have. It's been lovely seeing you both.
It's been so nice to
It's
be back
been
in the
very
room.
good to be back in the room.
But it's not like we've been in hibernation. We have been talking over the last 7 months, but it's great to get back in the studio, isn't it, John?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It's also great to get back into theatre and venues, isn't it,
is.
Josh?
Back into the live theatre. If you got keen for a comedy fest show, Game Boys, we're back April 8. Escape to the Megaverse opens. It's our Green Room award-winning show. And very exciting as well. Just another side note, Eden, my brother who I work with in Game Boys, he's on Australian Survivor at the moment, which has been really cool to see that.
Very cool.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
But yeah, you can grab your tickets on the Comedy Fest website for Escape to the Megaverse, April 8.
Christian, do you have any news, any shows coming up?
No, I'm just very happy to be back. I was a bit worried about how much we're going to talk about the trip. So I think the first maybe 5-10 minutes of the episode sucks. But after that, less
weird attitude.
Yeah,
less
it's a weird
It's all
attitude.
good. It's great.
less trip related. No, mainly because of the holiday stuff.
Yeah, but I'm saying everyone's
hate
fine
it.
with it.
Hate
Christian,
it.
at least you're
Alright.
not taking like 80 photos a day.
Yeah, that's hell.
It's disgraceful. Look, as we do every week, from now, we haven't done it every week, but as we do every week, we sew a new patch into our quilt of friendship. Josh, what patch did you sew into our quilt this week?
Thank you, Dion. My patch this week is the three of us attending the world's loudest shirt competition and having absolutely no idea where to look.
Oh, that's much better than mine.
Christian, what patch did you sew this week?
Thank you, Josh. This week I sewed into my patch me pointing out to you that Dion's pants were too low and that he'd shit himself. And Dion, what patch did you sew into your quilt this week?
My patch this week is me deciding that if I'm going to take so many photos every day whilst overseas, I might as well just buy an Apple Pro for $6,000, wear it all the time, and then kill myself. Thank you so much for listening to Welcome to Patchwork for another week. I've been Dion.
I've been Josh.
And I've been Christian.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.